market update video here at BenefitsCentral. I'm Benjamin, and today Bitcoin and the S&P charts. But before I get right into the market, please leave a like, drop a comment, and if you can subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Everybody, honestly, before I get into Bitcoin and all the other things, I do have a few other tokens I want to get into. But my main focus is going to be Ethereum. That's our main watch, as always. Bitcoin is, like I said, sympathetic to it, so we will go over it just a little bit, but that is if we have time at the end of the video, just because it is extra and it's sympathetic, so it's basically the same as Ethereum. But other than that, let's just dive right into what had happened. Realistically, we still are in our drawn out analysis right here. But other than that, we do have a monthly that is not really too strong. We are February 20th. We have like about a week and I'd say 3 days to continue any kind of movement upward. So realistically, we didn't have too much of a huge push this month. January definitely was more of a momentum month, but as of right now, we are coming in contact with a few moving indicators and as well as some resistance levels. So that is okay, honestly. But the more we dive in, you can see that we do still have a chance at least breaking this zone. Today is Monday. We did get that new weekly at around Saturday. It formed. Not really too entirely sure why we formed. It could have been our longer weekend that we supposedly had for February 20th for, I forgot what today was. I believe it's President's Day or something like that. But it does mess with those specific days do mess with the markets and timing and openings and stuff like that. So we could have got an early opening for the weekly, definitely. But other than that, you can see that we still, since today is Monday, we do have a brand new weekly that is opening, and it is definitely has a lot of room to move, and a lot of volatility has hit this weekly rapidly from the start. I mean, we immediately went up and then immediately dove right down to 1650, which was insane. But this is good just because we could have found support right now, and we could be battling out once again with our 50 moving average, which is our blue indicator above. And we could just be honestly hashing it out with that until we could get enough building pressure and bullish pressure to push past it. If we can't, we get rejected and fall back down, honestly, which isn't necessarily bad either. We just get more support at our 20 moving average for the weekly, or our 200 moving average for our weekly as well, which is strong support. So we'd realistically bounce back up like we have here. We didn't really want to get too close to it. If we end up seeing some bearish pressure that pushes us all the way down, that would be concerning. But I wouldn't necessarily say that we're going to start to dump right after, just because we can get that bullish cross, and as well as us hitting or retapping our 200 moving average. That just, there's too many indicators, too many things, too many fundamentals at play that would at least hold us from continuing much further, excuse me. But other than that, realistically, just diving into the daily, just to show you what's going on inside the weekly, we did end up ranging from 1650 to at least 1725 for the past 5 days. It's been okay. We haven't necessarily pushed past this zone, the 1700, but as you can tell, we did wick past it 4 times. This could be our 5th time. If so, then honestly, the more we consolidate in certain areas, excuse me, the more chance we have to fall. But the more that we spike through something, the more likely we are of damaging that resistance. So we're making the resistance weaker, hopefully trying to push past this and close above for the daily. If we definitely can get a daily close above 1700, I definitely will see us continue to the upside. However, we just haven't realistically gotten that in a while. The last time we did, we immediately got rejected back down. So not really too much fun. But as of right now, like I said, we're holding pretty high on the 1700. Trying to hold up above it. Honestly, we're doing phenomenally on the 1650 level. And excuse me, that wasn't the 1700 level that we closed above. If I do go back and show you, we actually haven't gotten a daily close up there. It was a weekly close, but yeah, we were right here. It failed to hold that. Immediately got pushed back down, most likely because of the weekly moving average. However, we are right back after that little dump that we had. Liquidation, most likely. I hope everyone was safe during this. Just because it was an RBI, a lot of people could have got tricked on that. It didn't really fill out, so you would have never entered. But definitely a lot of hope that you would have continued past this as of right here, just because of this reversal. However, that pushed us right back down after that moving average, all the way back down to our 50 moving average on the daily, almost our 200, and we saw an immediate reversal. Here's that, excuse me. Here's this bull 180 right here that you could have saw on the daily and could have got right back in. Like I said, the past few days, that's what we took. We took a few trades, but other than that, realistically, we don't have too much going on. Yesterday, though, we did see in the 4 hourly that we did end up wicking down to 1650, which was insane. Done this twice so far, realistically a few times, but more on the liquidation side. We've done this pretty drastically. I'd say like twice or 3 times. But looking into this right now, I want to show you guys just in more detail, just because the 4 hourly doesn't show too much. The hourly right here is showing us that we are just consolidating. However, we did breach 1650, but it wasn't enough to continue us. We did get that bull 180, pushed us continuation to the bullish side. However, we did end up tapping 1650, immediate rejection. The bulls did not want to go below 1650, so we pushed us all the way back up, which was surprising to see, just because of how fast we fell. But other than that, we did end up coming right back up, re-tapping. As you can see, I jumped in as soon as we tapped it again. Could be an early trigger finger on my end, but I am anticipating, since with this this push right here almost as a W forming on the 1 hour, it should show a little stronger on the other time frames. Not really seeing the W effect on the other time frames, so that's why I'm a little skeptical about what's going on necessarily at this range level around 1700 to 1720. Not necessarily wanting to break that at all. Last time we did, I mean, we got rejected. It was a huge liquidation instantly. So definitely just have to be careful with what you're doing. But other than that, realistically, we are waiting for the 1700 level to actually close and break. We have to see a daily close above it and continue to break bullish. As of right now, we're headed to the downside, probably retapping 1700. If we do, that won't necessarily be too good. And if we break to the downside below it, I won't necessarily close my trade, hoping that we'd end up getting a bullish cross up this and we can continue this bullish momentum that we've seen. Fortunately for us, we did catch that amazing bounce exactly pinpointed at 1650, and then eventually you could have got in at that bull 180. I'm sure there was a bull 180 somewhere in the 15 minutes or somewhere in the minutes right here that you could have caught and to catch all of this more. But I like to be more secure, more confident in my trades, so I definitely would have got in above here, anticipating that we continued. However, I most likely ignored it just because of how much momentum was going down. But then I definitely would have had some more confidence around here once this bull 180 pushed up. Definitely would have been involved in that one, but that was around 4 or 5 o'clock, so I wasn't really awake during that. But other than that, there's not too much going on in the crypto market. I am anticipating that we do end up testing at least the 1800 levels, at least 1750 levels. Just once we break this, there's really not a 1750 that's holding us. Realistically, we have one over here, but realistically, we're looking at the 1800 level. And if we do end up breaching that, we are getting a lot more bullish activity inside the market for Ethereum. So do keep your eyes peeled on this. Ethereum is definitely one of mine that I'm keeping under my radar. But other than that, let's just dive into the S&P 500 right now. Today's a little longer video, so I am just going to catch up on the S&P 500, catch you guys up on the rest later, either through content, through the media, social media. You can follow me on Instagram. I have Twitter, TikTok, and a few YouTube accounts that you guys can always catch me on. I'm always updating info if I catch it. But other than that, looking at the S&P 500, like I said, our monthly ended up getting rejected off the 4200, pushing us down, which is a little terrifying, just because we can't get a GBI action or position right here that will end up forming a leg down and could push us way further down. However, we're in descending channel. We broke up past it, realistically even closed above it. Not necessarily a huge close for this RBI, but we closed above it and are continuing to try to push to the upside. However, we are getting pushed down on this monthly for February, so not really a whole lot. We can get just like a balanced cross right here, a pivot point for us to continue, or that can be a reversal and a U-turn. Not necessarily what we want to see. But looking in on the weekly, we are still getting that pivot point. It looks like we can come back down here and at least retouch or retap our 4,000 level just for some support, end up getting a bullish cross. If we get a huge liquidation zone, we can come spike, touch that, and then come back up. Don't think that's going to happen. I think we have enough support here, as well as that descending channel resistance turning into support at around right here, at around the 4,000 level. And then again, if we try to tap that, our moving average is there, our support is there, and then our 50 moving average is there for the weekly. Very strong stuff, strong support. So I do anticipate that we start to curl back up after touching support, if we even need to. But other than that, this definitely looks bullish. Looks like we're going to continue to the upside. However, you do want to always be prepared. You anticipate and you're always prepared. Do A if A happens, do B if B happens. You don't necessarily want to chase the stock, make it happen, get in a position and chase it, force it, because you'll lose money. That doesn't necessarily always go your way. You can get lucky sometimes, but you kind of want to break this down to the consistency side, just so you can get your profits. This is a job. Realistically, you don't want to come out here and gamble. You want to be as professional as possible and consistent as possible. But other than that, realistically, let's just dive on the daily just to show you guys real quick on the S&P 500, show you guys what I'm looking at. This is a little intimidating just because it looks like a double top or an M, pushing us down to the downside on the daily. But like I said, we most likely are coming to touch our supports, gain some support before we end up trying to push past this once again. But other than that, not too much going on with really the stocks right now. More consolidation, more ranging from our supports and our resistances. But other than that, like I said, do A if A happens and do B if B happens, but just be ready. You always want to be ready for moves. That's how we capitalize on anything that happens. But then again, we're just ranging and consolidating, obviously, after our huge push that we pushed up from our last supports. But other than that, I will keep you guys updated with anything that crosses my mind or I see anything that possibly needs to be updated on. You guys could follow my second channel at Benefits Live if you guys would like to. I do have a few other pieces of content down below if you guys want to hit the links. And other than that, I will be dropping a book and a course if you guys are into that. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys would be interested. But other than that, hope you guys have a good day. Ciao.